Thanks. Good morning. I'm Chip Kahn, the founding CEO of ipcommerce, and this is Tyler. And we are here today to tell you about something new we're releasing. What we do is provide a flexible development platform for POS 2.0 software. And we're calling POS 2.0 software basically the new wave of software. It's typically SaaS-based, it's typically mobility in nature, and it's typically multi-channel retailer in format. A lot of new companies really make anybody a merchant sort of fall into that. All of those need an intelligent infrastructure, which is what we in fact provide. In fact, IT Group recently said we're the largest open payment platform for developers, as well as this recent report from Mercator. I think in the world today, there's a lot of focus, and has been over the last 5 to 10 years, on e-commerce, which is a pretty simple checkout process. It's easy to integrate. It's easy to deploy globally. But in fact, commerce is a lot more nuanced and a lot more intricate than that. And there's a lot of different scenarios that you have to consider, especially when you're an application developer. Some of those include multiple people buying a good or service that need to pool funds together, being an entity that may collect funds and then has to wait till certain thresholds are hit to disperse those. Another interesting one we're seeing is in marketing services that are in line at the point of sale, and how you take multiple incentives and in fact disperse those out to an offline merchant. And so those scenarios really require heavy lifting in the cloud, and that's what we provide. Today, most of that's online, and as a user, you have to sign up with a common provider to basically register, meaning both the buyer and seller have to have an account with someone. That isn't always convenient when in fact you have a payment instrument in your wallet today, and we seek to change that with our partners. So today we're pleased to announce multi-party payments, which is a commerce playlist from ipcommerce. And we're going to use an example today that Tyler's pulling up here. This is a foundation that's close to my heart since I'm one of the founders. It's the largest derby party outside of Churchill Downs. And what we do is put a few kids through school on full scholarships every year, but it's actually a fairly complicated process around how we collect money, which is obviously due from folks before May 5th, and then all the folks that we have on the payable side that we have to disperse to. That includes the venue, security, AV, multiple bands. All of those things, we have to pay out at different times after we've collected the money. So what we do is we provide customers with, the folks in this case that are wearing some great hats, the ability to buy tickets. So it looks simple, but when we go to the back end, we'll see using our management console. So now you can actually see this is an administration console that we provide. This is also available through APIs. And really what it is a campaign manager. And a campaign really is a set of rules that we've structured together that enable the software company, ultimately a retailer or a merchant, to define how they collect and distribute funds. And there are a couple of different types of campaigns. The first one that we're going to show today is crowdfunding. So clicking on that, we really can see here with the campaign manager the various elements that I can use to set up a campaign, including the name of the campaign, start dates, end dates, thresholds, and other variables. Here we start to get into really the flexibility and the intelligence of the platform. This can do a lot of very complex things. It can also do things very simply. So in fact, for us, we could have had a simple disbursement model, which was collect $280,000 before May 5th, disperse $200,000 to the various vendors, take the $80,000 and make sure that moves to the scholarship fund before fall registration begins. Or we may have a wildly complex example where we have X% needs to be delivered to multiple entities at multiple thresholds or percentages at different times. And all of those can be configured here in this administration console, and basically using our inference engine, which is really the core element of our platform here. Another important part here, obviously, is recognizing the fact that on the acceptance side for payments, we have one to the end number of ways to accept money. We also have the ability to govern one to the end on the disbursement side. Those two things come together to create the campaign, which Tyler is publishing. And again, this can be, the administration console can actually be integrated directly into web and mobile apps through federated identity and single sign-on, or you can use the APIs. Here we're seeing actually all of the campaigns at either a merchant level or a software, POS 2.0 level that are in process. But we can dig into actually the specific campaign we just created. So using our Derby Party example, we can see that, in fact, the money's flowing in, that folks have paid the way that they want to, that we're able to actually disperse without having to think about it, which is good because some of the foundation members had too many mint juleps, so we don't want to worry about that. All of that gets handled automatically, and we're able to just see real-time notifications as basically the money's flowing. The other important part of this is the application developer actually needs to get compensated too. So this takes into account splits, 2 third parties, 4th parties, 5th parties, so again, 1 to the end. Everybody can check and see where they are in the process. Having said all that, I think we've heard over and over again from hundreds of application developers that these kinds of more complex workflows are really difficult to enable within the app, and they really want to focus on the app. So what we've done is created and are doing the heavy lifting on the infrastructure to enable them to do multiple acceptance points, multiple disbursement points, in a very flexible campaign-like format, either via our management console or via API. So check it out, come by our booth, or go to our website, and we appreciate your time today. Thank you.